Hi everybody, welcome to today's Teen Talk. This was a video which was completed by Grace O'Rourke. Grace is a fascinating presenter in the area of resilience, so really looking forward to hearing about that. Our Teen Talk events were originally supposed to be held in a number of venues around Cork County, but we had to cancel them because of the current situation, but we're delighted to have them online now. So they're organised by Cork County Council. Myself, I'm Niall O'Callaghan. I'm the Healthy Ireland Coordinator with Cork County Council. So we're organising these events with the agreement of our LCDC in Cork County Council and with Healthy Ireland and Pobble as well. So I'm very excited to introduce to you Grace O'Rourke.
Hi guys, Grace O'Rourke here. I'm delighted to be able to share with you my story, a story about how determination, resilience and self-belief got me where I am today. Now let me take you back to where it all started, and it started with my passion. I'm sure you all have that one thing that you're absolutely crazy about. Well, for me, it's horses. And it was in secondary school, after many years competing, I decided that I wanted an international sports career. I wanted to be a show jumper. It was a career that would allow me to one day, hopefully, represent my country. Now, as I got older, I began to realise that an international sports career is quite hard to achieve. So I began to explore other career options. And it was in fourth year that my home ec teacher came to me with an application for the Gashga 4-Day Defence Forces Challenge. Now, for any of you that don't know about this, this is 4 days with the Irish Army. It is an action-packed 4 days. You are abseiling, orienteering, rock climbing. It is adventure-filled. So I applied and I got accepted, and it was on completing this, I very much knew that I wanted a career with the Irish Army. It was a career that would allow me to keep active, stay fit and represent my country. So when I finished my Leaving Cert, I did my application for the Army. I did my interview for the Army, and I was unsuccessful the first year. So I took a year out before deciding whether I wanted to go to college, and I practiced for my interview. I did a lot of preparation for the interview the following year, but I was unsuccessful yet again. So this time I was a little bit heartbroken, but I had to push on with life. So I decided to go to college. I went to college in the UK, where I studied sports and exercise science. And upon returning home from college, I was going to do my interview for the Army a third time. Now, the only difference about this time was it was going to be my third and final time before getting too old. So I did my interview, and a couple of weeks passed, and I got the email for the results. As I opened the email, I saw the words, "You have been unsuccessful." I was completely heartbroken, and there it was. All my dreams of one day having a career in the Army were gone, just like that. So I didn't really know what to do next, but I had my sports and exercise science degree, so I needed to put that to use. So I decided to try get a job working with sports teams and working with athletes, an area that I was familiar with and that I also loved. But it was constant rejection and employers telling me that I needed more experience. Well, how was I supposed to get more experience if they weren't going to employ me? So after a lot of frustration, I decided to start my own company. So I went on to start 3 different companies, and guys, I'm not going to bore you with the details of them, but let me tell you, they played a very big role in becoming who I am today. So I recently last year I took part in RTE's Special Forces Ultimate Hell Week. And for those of you who didn't see it and don't know what it's about, I'm going to show you a video now to give you some insight to what went on Hell Week. Take a look at this.
The failure rate for this course is up to 90%. To date, no females have passed.
Their backpack must weigh a minimum of 45 pounds, and they must carry water and their bar at all times. The total weight of the kit is close to 70 pounds.
You got 2 limbs you can put to use, 2 feet, 2 walking shoes, and that door you're looking through is a wild world staring back at you. Go on, 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 get in there.
The most physically demanding event on the Hell Week course, Foreman Aftman, is a timed 21-kilometre march with full kit. On the actual Army Ranger Wing selection course, no female has ever passed this event.
The wild world is red outside. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on.
She's adapted brilliantly. That girl that sat there the first night and that girl that sat there now are 2 different people.
You have passed selection. You're my new superhero.
So that was Hell Week, and I am delighted to be able to share with you my 4 lessons I learned during Hell. So number 1, life can be heavy. Number 2, don't compare yourself to others. Number 3, wait and see what the next 3 minutes hold. And number 4, enjoy the journey whether you win or lose. So number 1, life can be heavy. So one of the challenges was a 21k hike up Tunlagee mountain in the freezing cold. We had 27 kg of kit. So this was between our bar, our backpack, our hat and our water. It was so heavy. And the men and the women had the exact same weight. I know what some of you may be thinking, that this might seem a little unfair, seeing as men most of the time are stronger than women. Well, in life, you're going to meet situations that seem unfair, but they'll also be out of your control. So for me in this situation, I needed to shut those thoughts down because they were only going to distract me from achieving one of the hardest challenges of my life. And guess what? I shut those thoughts down. And I became the first female, military or civilian, to ever complete that challenge. You see, in life, we are going to meet situations that seem impossible or unfair. But with a little bit of determination, we can achieve amazing things even when the odds are stacked against us. Lesson 2. Don't compare yourself to others. So one of the challenges was an 8-mile loaded march in full kit. So I tried to start off strong and tried to keep up with the others, but I quickly fell to the back. My hamstrings were on fire and my backpack was killing me. I barely completed this challenge and I only had seconds to get over the line. So going into day 2, the self-doubt was overwhelming. I was thinking maybe I'm not tough enough. Maybe I didn't have what it takes, and that I wasn't as good or as strong as the rest of them. I had to stop myself as I realized I was focusing on the competition and not focusing on myself. And it was then that my old athletics coach, Mr. Kidd, came into my head with a phrase that he used to say, and that was, run your own race. So when I used to compete, my style was strong and steady. And I remember starting the 400 meter hurdles, which was a completely different race to what I was used to. And in one of my first races, I copied the girl in the lane beside me and she took off really fast. So I did the same thing, and I ended up burning out before I got to the finish because I copied her and I didn't stick to my own style. Hence the phrase, run your own race. No matter what the situation, we all have our own method of dealing with it. Getting caught up with the competition only distracts us. Everyone goes at their own pace, as there's always more than one way to get through a challenge. That brings us to lesson number 3. See what the next 3 minutes hold. There I was, standing there in the middle of the Curragh, having crawled around cold rocky puddles for hours. I had cuts all over me. And as I was standing there, I thought, if I failed to get into the army 3 times, did I really have what it took to get to the end of the week? I didn't want to quit, but I wasn't sure if I could take much more. Standing there, I managed to compose myself and I said to myself, Grace, see if you can go 3 more minutes. You see, it became clear that it was no longer about getting to the end of the week or no longer about completing that challenge. It was about going 3 more minutes and maybe 3 more after that. So if you face a challenge at home or in school or with friends, it's often overwhelming when you try to take it all on at once. If you can break it down moment by moment, this allows you to take the challenge on bit by bit rather than taking it all on at once. The final lesson, lesson 4, enjoy the journey whether you win or lose. Crawling through the cold rocky puddles, climbing up the mountains, the hours of interrogation, deep down I knew the hardest parts were going to pass. And all of that is true. They did pass because Des and I were the only 2 standing on the final day. We endured everything that they threw at us, but we did not win. We passed. There was no prize, just the honour of passing. For many of your hardest challenges, there will be no prize. Some will be about enduring it, some will be about taking it minute by minute, and some will be about giving it your best shot. But the most important thing, whether you win or lose, will always be about taking what you can learn from each challenge in order to grow. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you have any questions or want to reach out, my details will follow after this.